Advice that I would give to people is, start working on something now. Don't run for office, then decide the issues that you want to work on or champion or campaign on. Like, figure that out before you start running for office. Find your passion first.
What's up, Mandela?
Yeah, how you doing, man? Good, man. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. So you recently was elected as the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Wisconsin.
I was just recently elected November
Awesome.
of 2018.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Time flies. It's already 7 months in. Sworn in January. I know.
Yeah, time does fly. So what obstacles did you face, struggles running for office in a state that's like very, as a young person? Right?
Yeah, as a young person, there are significant challenges. A lot of it is fundraising. You don't have the same donor network as a lot of older, more established candidates have. Also, another thing as well, personally, I didn't work the whole year that I was campaigning. And it's different. You have a lot of people who do run for office who either have something on the side that they can do, different profession, or a whole bunch of money set aside. I was really out there living on a prayer. Wow. So that was probably the biggest challenge is going a year without working for me. And then the raise the money part is tough, as a younger candidate and getting yourself out there. And people always question, younger candidates just want to know that you actually know what you're talking about. But once you cross that hurdle, that means you actually have to know what you're talking about. But right. once you prove that, then it's a little bit easier. People, and that's the thing too, because there is an upside. People do like the idea of new energy, and I think I ran into more people who were much older than me that talked about it's time for us to get younger people involved, to get a fresh perspective, to get some new ideas in there, new blood, new energy.
That's awesome. So what policies are you working on right now that affect the next generation?
Yeah, energy policy. Moving Wisconsin towards a clean energy future. That's the most significant policy item because it affects our health, it affects our workforce, and it affects our environment. Those are every issue, and it's an issue of justice. It encompasses so much. So moving us towards a clean energy future means that we can drastically change our economy from the low-wage economy that it had then. All the new jobs that have been created over the last decade or so, those have been low-wage jobs. People who are still working hard and 40 hours a week. A lot of people still struggling, working multiple jobs just to get ahead. And we can move away from that because people don't deserve to work hard and still live in poverty. People deserve clean, safe drinking water. People deserve better air quality. People deserve an environment that's protected and not have to deal with the catastrophic impacts of the climate crisis.
Yeah, the climate crisis is very important right now, especially in the state and also around the country.
Yeah, around the world. You look at Greenland. You look at I forget how many just cubic tons of glacier just melted. And when I was growing up, I was taught that glaciers don't melt. And you look at permafrost, it's melting, and it's crazy to think that permafrost, that has perma as its prefix, is melting. And those are the things that we were taught in school would never happen. Yet here we are. And there are gonna be devastating impacts, and it's very topical that we're here in Miami at a time like this because rising sea levels are gonna impact places like Miami. And will this place be habitable in the next 20, 40 years? Who knows? That's why we have to do something about it.
Yeah, but action is now.
Action is now.
So what advice would you give someone that wants to run for office or get involved in some sort of public service?
A couple pieces of advice that I would give to people is, start working on something now. Don't run for office, then decide the issues that you want to work on or champion or campaign on. Figure that out before you start running for office. Find your passion first. Make sure that the horse is in fact before the cart. Second, work on a campaign first. That doesn't mean you have to get a job on a campaign, but go volunteer for a campaign. Find a candidate that you like and help them out. Knock on some doors with them. Make phone calls. Do something because you'll never understand what it means to run for office if you've never experienced it before. And I can guarantee you that as a first-time candidate, you will be in for a rude awakening if you show up unaware of what it takes to run. And now, do some people pull it off? Yeah, it's possible, but you don't want to be in that situation.
Thank you so much for
Oh man,
stopping
it's
by.
easy. I appreciate it.
Great advice.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.